Hi, Daniel here from 1% Property with your third segment of 1% Property Tips. Today we are talking about putting your best foot forward. So just stepping away from property for a minute, I want to talk about the dating world. Something I haven't been in for a while because, thankfully I'm happily married. But think back to the last date you went on. When you're going on a date, you've organized a restaurant, you're all excited, you're really keen to see your significant other. You don't then go to your wardrobe, find your worst item of clothing that's covered in holes, scruff up your hair, and go eat some garlic before going to the date. Or in the modern world, you don't take a photo of yourself with sleep in your eye and post it on whatever app everyone's using at the moment. You want to look good, and there's a reason behind that. You want to put your best foot forward. But still with property, we find some people wanting to take their own photos. It makes no sense because if you take your own photos, then all of the marketing money you spend is pushing an inferior product. It's not pushing the best side of your property. Get the professionals in. Remember that the videos and the photos are the first point of contact that any buyer will have with your property. And the first impression, more importantly, the first feeling that a buyer has about a property is seriously important. If the buyer's first feeling about a property is negative, it can be very, very difficult to turn that around. And if their first feeling about a property is positive, it can add literally thousands of dollars onto the final sales price of that property. So with doing your own photos, you might save $500 on the media. You could lose $5,000 or $10,000 on your sales price. It's the same question I ask when it comes to ads and when people want to cut the costs on ads. Would you rather avoid spending $5,000 today on your advertising, or would you rather avoid losing $40,000 in 6 weeks' time on the sale price of your home? It really, really is an important thing to do, and it's really, really important to make sure that you get the best possible photos to put the best possible image of your property in front of the buyer's eyes. When you're talking about marketing, it's really important to see it as a 3-step process. So step 1 is present the property correctly. Now, we spoke about presentation and staging in our first video of 1% Property Tips. Step 2 is get the right photos so that the house looks as good as it can possibly look. Step 3 is then putting those photos in front of the right buyers, putting those photos in front of as many buyers as possible so we can find the premium buyer that's going to pay the most for your property and make you as much money as possible. I like to use a fishing analogy. When you're going out fishing, if you want to catch a lot of fish, you don't use a fishing rod, you use a net. So it's the same thing. The marketing is our net. We put it out to as many fish or as many buyers as possible in the hope of finding the buyer that is going to see the most value and pay the most money for your property. So thank you so much for tuning in this week. Really hope you enjoyed the content. I hope it was helpful. I hope you've had a fantastic week so far, and I hope the second half is even better.